Hello, welcome back to the Haunted Haven yet again. And welcome to part 2 of Kringle Candle Halloween. Holy cow, this is an absolute marathon of candles that we've got coming your way. I did go with a little bit of a darker makeup look today, so I'll have to see what it looks like when I edit it, but it might have gone too dark, but whatever, it's Halloween, it's that time of year. Welcome to Part 2, Kringle Candle Halloween. We are on the Halloween roller coaster now, for sure. And it is starting to feel like a little bit more fall outside, and it has me very excited for what is to come very soon. I've been having a great time this year, and thank you all so much for engaging with the videos, the comments. The YouTube live was super fun. It was really great to hang out with everybody on the live. For sure, we are going to do a Halloween live in the Haven again this year, so having guests on talking about candles. If there is anything in particular that you want to see from that live, let me know. I really love talking about the old Yankee candles and doing kind of the candle retrospect, favorite candles from the year, that kind of stuff. But if there's anything that you would like us to talk about in that live as well, let me know and I'll start planning for it. But yeah, you can bet your little bottom dollars that we're gonna have another live in the Haven for Halloween this year. So I'm very excited about that. Let's talk about the Kringle Candle second launch. So I'm releasing this video a little bit later than my other ambassador friends, so I'm sure you all kind of have the gist now, but let me go over the dates. It's going to be it's going to be August 15th at 12 o'clock noon. So this is a 12 o'clock noon release rather than a 12 a.m. midnight release. Once again, I want to say again, thank you to everybody who has let me know that they have used my code. That is really helpful to me. That is, first of all, it's an ambassador code, so I get a kickback from that. So that is a way to support the channel. That is super helpful to me. I really appreciate that. And also that lets Kringle Candle know that you're coming to the Haven to get your reviews and you like what I do, and that way they can continue to send me candles because they know that you like what I do. So it's really helpful on multiple levels, and thank you to everybody who has told me that you've done that. That's our release date and our discount code. Let's go into what these candles are. So we have 2 candles that are going to be releasing in the second drop, and they are going to be these ombre jars. You kind of saw some of these popping up last year, but the beautiful ombre jars, and these are called the Boo Crew. This is the name for what they're doing this year. This is the Boo Crew, and it's all much lighter. This is a much more whimsical, lighter, soft Halloween, cute Halloween, we'll call it. So that is the Boo Crew, and then we also have the new Spellbound jars. So they released the black Spellbound jars last year, and this year they are doing a new take, kind of a more white witch take, you might say. And they still have the gems on the top, but they are a white soy candle, and they have the chants on the back as well. So we can go over these in detail. All right, let's start off with the Boo Crew. We are going to start off with Lil Devil, and that is going to be 2 jars. So you can pick, depending on whether you are a cat person or a dog person, whether you want your dog version or your cat version of this. But this one is called Lil Devil. And let's go over the scent notes. The top is going to be lush pumpkin, sweet nutmeg, and creamy custard. The mid is spicy clove and cozy cinnamon, and rich maple syrup, and the base is caramelized sugar, earthy carrot, and warm vanilla. So obviously right off the bat, this is a lot cuter and sweeter, lovelier scent notes than the traditional black jar, the scary horror line that we got before. So this is going to be a pumpkin spice candle, but I would say it leans a little bit sweeter, lighter, fluffier. I would say the spices in this are also kind of unique. I would say there's that, the nutmeg is really doing a lot of work here, actually. So we do have the cinnamon and the clove, but I really think the nutmeg on the top is kind of doing more of the lifting here. The nutmeg and the clove, maybe. I would say the cinnamon, you would think that the cinnamon would be the predominant one, but it's not. I think the nutmeg and the clove are doing a lot, and also I think that carrot on the bottom. Yeah, the spices are really strong in this one, and it's coming off as a bakery scent. No, the more I'm smelling it, the more the spices are coming out, and the sweetness, it's not like a sugary sweet, but it's like it's a baked goods type of scent, I would say. If you are a fan of spices, this would be a really great candle for you. On my first impression of this, I'm not getting super strong pumpkin. I'm not getting a super, super strong pumpkin spice. I'm getting more of a spices bakery scent. I think, yeah, that warm vanilla, the rich maple, the sugar, those things on the bottom, and then the carrot, clove, and nutmeg. I wouldn't say it's like a carrot cake scent though. It's not exactly a carrot cake scent, but it is a bakery scent. Like imagine some sort of like maybe a donut, like a cider donut, but not apple. You know what I'm saying? Just the spices of that. Spiced donut type thing. It's really good. I am not a gourmand fan, but this is spiced enough that I would wager that this goes more in the direction of spices than strictly gourmand, if that makes any sense. It's like, I'm looking forward to lighting this one up, whereas with some gourmands, I'm like, making me hungry. But this is going to be a super, you know what? This is going to be a really nice atmospheric candle for the fall in order to just get your house to smell like those fall spices. That's my prediction with this at any rate, based on cold. It's mostly a spiced candle. It's got a little bit of that bakery thing going on. But I'm excited to light this up to see if it just kind of creates that fall spiced atmosphere in the house. So yeah, that's Little Devil. Again, it comes in either of these jars. So they gave us a cat or a dog. And yeah, really cute. And I cannot wait to burn that one up. All right, Bobbing for Apples. Bobbing for Apples is a bunch of animals dressed up in their Halloween costumes. And what are they doing? They're bobbing for apples. We have a top of tangy apple, juicy pineapple, and creamy peach, a mid of sun-kissed melon, intoxicating hyacinth, and sugared amber, and a base of earthy applewood, vanilla crystals, and sensual musk. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty fruity. If we've got the apple, pineapple, peach, melon. Yeah, hyacinth amber. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty fruity, honestly, which is kind of strange. This is, to me, a super summery candle. I get actually mostly, I mean, for people who wanted to do summerween, this is really fruity, honestly, in my opinion. I get a little bit of the amber also, which is like pulling it into an interesting direction. The front load of this is going to be really that pineapple, peach, melon, apple thing. It's a very summery, fruity scent, and then it's just kind of getting pulled down a little bit by that musk and amber. Yeah, it gives it a kind of not fruit, but food profile, which is really weird. It's really interesting. It's almost like, I guess the thing I would compare it to would be like a fruit pie or a fruit tart or something. But not as sweet as that. It's like the sugar's not making it overly sweet. I would say, yeah, it's, the only sweetness is really coming from the fruits. It's also a very light scent. It's very mild. I really kind of have to get in there to kind of experience everything, but I would say the fruits are somewhat mild. This is a kind of mild candle overall, but very summery and very fruity. So if you're somebody who enjoys that kind of like fruit thing, also I'm getting more of the apples as more I smell it. Yeah, apple's starting to come out more too. But this to me, it's a really summery candle. Potentially if you want a summerween candle, this would be the absolute best thing you could do. But yeah, interesting. Very fruity. Not quite sure. This wouldn't scream Halloween to me, that's what I'm saying. This would not be my pick for Halloween night. Whereas this, Little Devil, that would be a really good one. It's very, very spicy, very fall-y. All right, let's go with Ghost Stories. This is a bunch of, again, animals in costumes sitting around a fire reading stories. So the top on this one is going to be spicy pink pepper, aromatic juniper, and fresh orange blossom. The mid is firewood clove, smoky guaiac wood, and roasted chestnut, and the base is balsamic amber, blonde woods, and warm vanilla bean. So that sounds really interesting. That's a spicy pepper, juniper, orange blossom, wood fire clove, guaiac wood, roasted chestnut. Interesting. Again, it's a really subtle candle. Like this one is not exploding in my face, but very, very nice. I definitely get that. I definitely get that wood fire clove. And the wood, that guaiac wood, I mean, sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I know I'm not. I don't know exactly how to say it, but I do know that it's got that like woody profile, that kind of smoky woody profile to it. And I'm absolutely getting that. It's really, really nice, actually. This is, the more I'm smelling it, the more that this is reminding me of a very, very nice bonfire scent, actually. Smoky, almost mesquite firewood. Very interesting. But definitely a smoky scent. Let's smell the lid. Balsamic amber. Maybe that's where I'm getting that mesquite, is the balsamic amber combining with the wood fire clove, smoky guaiac wood, roasted chestnut, interesting, blonde woods. Yeah, there's a lot of roasting and smokiness going on in this one. I wish that they actually had a fire pictured in the label here, like the little critters gathered around a fire reading would actually be a really match the label with what's going on in the scent notes. Because it really is, I can't wait to light this one. This one is going to be a very nice, smoky kind of firewood scent. That's really, really lovely. So yeah, if you are somebody who enjoys that smoky smoky wood, firewood profile, this one's going to be great. Not getting too much of the vanilla up front here. I wonder if the vanilla came out, if it would be a little bit more like a marshmallow, like it would give it that marshmallow by the fire thing. So anyway, we'll do that on the burn, but so far this was my favorite from the bunch. It's really smoky, it's really, really cute. Bonfire scent. All right, let's go with Howl at the Moon. This is a little baby werewolf howling at the moon. Surprise, surprise. The top we have velvet plum, sweet orange, ripe black currant. The mid we have tart plum, jasmine blooms, and Brazilian orchid. And the base we have a black amber, vanilla woods, and warm musk. So that's interesting. We have a plum and an orange and a currant. So another, not as sweet fruity, but kind of more tart fruity at the top. And then we have, again, plum in the middle, jasmine blooms, and orchid. Interesting. So it's a floral and fruity? Interesting. Well, that's really nice. It's really, really beautiful. It's a sophisticated scent, a much more sophisticated scent than I was picturing for this label. It's giving more spice than I thought. What's in there? Black amber, vanilla woods, warm musk, tart plum, jasmine blooms, orchid. Huh, weird. It's gotta be the musk on the bottom and the amber. Interesting. I'm really getting those base notes though. Like this isn't a overpoweringly orange or currant or plum. Those fruit notes on the top are not super forward. Very odd. Yeah, this one is coming off as a again, a very, it's got like a vanilla bottom to it. Is that actually in there? Vanilla woods. Yeah, the warm musk, the vanilla, and the black amber, interestingly enough, are the ones that are coming through the most for this. It's like all of that is coming out, and then maybe just a little bit of these, oh yeah, the florals. The florals are the next thing that I'm getting. But it's really interesting because that tartness from the top notes are really not coming through very much at all to me. Maybe I've had too much candles. This is interesting. It's a much more sophisticated scent than I was thinking. Yeah, I'm just gonna stand by it. So yeah, the bottom notes are really coming out. The amber, the vanilla woods, the musk really coming out on this. The top notes are blending together in such a way that they're hard to distinguish from each other. And then the florals, again, pretty light. To me, this is really interesting because it's almost going bakery or gourmand because of how much heavy lifting those base notes are doing with this. So to me, it's a very vanilla, very amber musk. And the way that the fruits are blending, the fruits might be why it's sweet, but it's not because of a sugariness. It's very interesting. If you're a vanilla fan though, I mean, this one is giving me vanilla really, really strong up front with the florals and the fruits mixed, blended really kind of seamlessly together and mixed in such a way that nothing really takes over except for the vanilla with these kind of other notes kind of blended and meshed with its main presence. So this one is really, really nice, very sophisticated, very beautiful. And yeah, we'll see what happens on the post burn with this one. All right, let's go with Boo-Hoo, which I think it's a bunch of little owls. I think they're owls with sheets and they look like ghosts. So Boo-Hoo is the top of rich cream, warm cinnamon, and fresh peppercorn, a mid of black cardamom, zesty ginger, and smoky chestnut, and a base of amberwood, tonka bean, and velvety musk. So this one sounds like it's kind of similar to Ghost Stories with the amberwood, musk, tonka bean, and then we've got some spices in there. But this has an added rich cream and had it added cinnamon and pepper. So they might be a little bit similar, but let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, they're very different. Very different. Maybe it's the ginger that's really pulling it. I think the ginger's doing a lot here. And the cream. The cream and the ginger, but the way that these are mixing together is really interesting. It creates a sour cream effect. Not sour cream in the taco sense, but the ginger is souring up the cream a bit, and it's very interesting. It is sweet. It's a sweet candle. Yeah, that's interesting. So again, the cinnamon is quite subtle in here. It's enough that it gives it a spice profile, but I think the peppercorn is kind of dampening that down because the cinnamon's not taking over. This is a very complex, spicy gourmand scent, if that makes sense, like spiced gourmand, not spicy. But the peppercorn and the cinnamon, the cream, the tonka, the amberwood, velvety musk. Interesting. Warm cinnamon, fresh peppercorn. Yeah, I don't know what, like I want to say that this is sweet, but on the same time, it's not. It's weird. It's weird. It's like a gourmand, so it's kind of gourmand. But that ginger and, you know what this is kind of reminding me a little bit is actually Killer Clown, but way more manageable than Killer Clown. But Killer Clown had that type of kind of sour milk thing going on. And that's a bit what I'm getting with this, with the milk and the ginger combination. Really interesting. Complex, spiced with cream and ginger. That's kind of the closest that I have for this. It doesn't really smell like anything else candle-wise. Like this is not a blend where you're like, oh, it's a pumpkin spice candle or whatever. It's a weird, unique blend to itself. I would say this one is interesting, experimental. Again, like I'm not having an easy time describing this one. The cream, the cinnamon, peppercorn, zesty ginger, smoky chestnut. Interesting. I can see the smoke in this as well. Yeah, I think the smoke is pulling this in yet another direction. That's that smoky nut thing. Yet another food direction. That's why I'm having a hard time, because it's like, it is gourmand, but it's gourmand in the direction of food, but it's also a little bit sweet. It's got a lot of things going on. This one is kind of an enigma. This is really interesting. It's kind of defying categorization. And it changes the more you smell it, because it's like the first thing that hits you is like, oh yeah, okay, that kind of is sweet. And then the more you smell it, it's like, no, but it's kind of got that foody, like full-bodied food thing going on. Interesting candle. I'll try and gather more thoughts on this, but those are my initial impressions of Boo-Hoo. Really interesting candle. All right, and then the last one from the Boo crew is going to be Scary Movie Night. And this is, I think, my favorite. It's the most adorable of the labels. All these little critters with their popcorns, they're all scared watching something on TV. It's really, really cute. The top is going to be buttery popcorn, savory salt, and toasted corn kernels. How are toasted corn kernels different than buttery popcorn? I'm not quite sure, but there are two different notes. The mid is sweet corn, velvet dairy cream, and the base is caramelized wood, warm musk, and golden sugar resin. So it looks like it would be a kind of popcorny scent with, you know, there's things in here that are kind of making it weird. The dairy cream, the wood, and the sugar resin are pulling this in directions that are not just straight up popcorn. So, actually, they did make a really pretty strong popcorn scent out of this. It's actually the first thing I get. It's very, very much popcorn. Wow. I'm actually very impressed with this candle. It smells like buttery popcorn to me. That smells like actual buttery popcorn. It's very, yeah. It's got that saltiness. It's got that butteriness. It smells like popcorn. I don't know what else to say. Let me see if I can. I really like how they blended this because it's not just one thing happening where it's like, oh, it's just one flat popcorn scent. I am getting that caramelized wood or warm musk on the bottom. And that's adding like a layer of complexity to it. That is still, it's supporting the roastedness of this, or like the heated up quality. But it's not just a straight popcorn, I don't know, oil, a straight popcorn scent note. Like it adds the roasted quality to this, is what I'll say. Wow. This is making me so hungry for popcorn. So this, this falls definitely into like the food version of gourmand. And I'm nervous to light this one because it will just make me want to eat a lot of popcorn. But if a popcorn scented candle is something that you want to experiment with and is something that I mean, this is just adorable also. It's so cute. But boy, oh boy, this smells just like it and it's making me hungry. Yeah, it's a very savory, I would say it's so much a savory candle, salty and buttery. Very, very strong out here. Yeah, this is super cool. I really like this a lot. I think they accomplished exactly what they were trying to go for with this, honestly. So yeah, that's our Boo Crew collection. And we have another 6 candles to go through, which is going to be the Spellbound collection. So these are the kind of witchy sequel to last year's Spellbound release. So the whole point kind of with the Spellbound is that these are more intentional candles, but of course you can just light them as you wish. But because they do have these kind of, they're kind of leaning into the kind of witchy vibe for Halloween. So they do have chants that you can do on the back of them. So let's start with these are also a new jar. They're going to be 2 wicks, and they're going to be in these kind of smaller jars as well. So let's start with Abundant Blessings. We have a top of shimmering citrus, wild honey, a mid of orange flower and bergamot, and a base of warm spice and musk. And the crystal in this one is going to be citrine. And they each have kind of like a little sigil or seal associated with them as well. I think that that's actually really cool. I like how they did that. So we have a citrus, honey, orange flower. Again, I would say with the Spellbound across the board, what I'm going to say about these ones is they are much more kind of like apothecary-like. They're going to have more of botanical, think of like a witch's apothecary, dried herbs, essential oils, botanicals, that kind of thing. These are kind of going to be more along the lines of like a natural witch's apothecary type candle. That's really fresh. That's very, very invigorating, actually. Let's see, what is doing that? The orange, I think the orange flower, the citrus and the orange flower, that's giving it just a slightly floral, but mostly I would say it's like kind of a bright citrus, musk and warm spice. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit spicy, but I would say, yeah, it's kind of like a little bit orange, or a little bit spicy, but mostly orange citrus, the bergamot, the citrus, the orange flower. Very bright, very kind of airy candle to this one. So that is kind of this very bright one. And then the chant on this one is, with each flame and scent I call to thee, bearing gifts of gold and bounty to me. Let harvest rise from the fertile ground, where once was lack, now joy is found. My hands are open, my heart aligned, blessings flow both seen and blind. So that is Abundant Blessings. Next we have Divine Clarity. All right, so Divine Clarity, I would imagine this is about meditation. So, or actually clearing, this is a cleansing one. So the top is gonna be a citrus and fougere, mid is sheer linens and resins, the base is musk and myrrh. The crystal here is a clear quartz crystal. Yeah, this is going to remind me of like actually kind of, the linens are doing a lot here. I was gonna say like a fresh laundry or kind of like a soapy scent even. Let's see again. Citrus, fougere, sheer linen, resin, musk, myrrh, yeah. Yeah, I would say that the fresh linens, the sheer linens are doing a lot in this. Mostly, I would say a bright kind of like, not bright, but a fresh kind of cleaning scent. Very airy, very, again, like a soapy kind of candle. It's a really nice one, I would say, if you want something that kind of feels like fresh laundry room, that type of thing. Yeah, the citrus on the top. Citrus on the top is coming through. I think that's kind of what's giving it this very cleaning scent. This is a very cleaning scent candle. It's like fresh linens combined with cleaning scent, that kind of type of thing. So again, really fresh, really nice. The quartz crystals on the top. And the spell for this one is going to be, open wide my inner sight, guide me with the sacred light. Let truth arise, illusions part, reveal what's hidden in my heart. With every glow and cleansing air, bring wisdom pure and vision fair. All right, and the next one that we have is going to be Healing Light. Healing Light. So I believe this would be like a healing spell type of candle. The top is going to be bergamot and tea leaves, the mid is eucalyptus and white mint, and the base is aloe and musk. The crystal on this one is green aventurine. So that's what the green aventurine crystals look like. Yeah, this is a very springy scent. So again, this one is bergamot, tea leaves, eucalyptus, white mint, aloe, and musk. I would really say that there's like the tea leaves and the eucalyptus. This is a very clarifying one. It feels very green. It feels very spring-like. Bergamot, tea leaves, eucalyptus. Yeah, it's very fresh, very like nature fresh, like plant fresh, herby fresh. Uplifting and calming at the same time, I would say also. White mint. Oh, the mint probably. Probably the combination of the eucalyptus and the mint. Yeah. This is a really nice, really beautiful one. Yeah, I would say if you want something that goes along the more like the green, like kind of planty, kind of herbal thing, Healing Light would be a nice one to go for. And then let's see, the back of this one says the chant, from root to crown, I mend and glow. With healing light, let wellness flow. Let pain release, let calm remain. With every breath, dissolve the strain. By flame and scent, my soul is whole, renewed in spirit and heart and soul. Yeah, so I think this one is to kind of try and like cleanse your system and bring in some healing energy. Inner Fire. Inner Fire. Okay, so the top on Inner Fire is going to be blood orange and fiery spice. The mid is cinnamon bark and clove bud, and the base is amber and citron. So this is going to be, I think, just of like a fall spices candle. Crystal on this one is carnelian. Those are nice. It's really pretty. Yeah, this is going to be more of a red hot cinnamon. Much more so than anything actually that they've released in their line this year. This one is very much reminding me of red hot cinnamon, like almost gum. Yeah, that's interesting. What's on the bottom of this one? Amber and citron. Blood orange, fiery spice, cinnamon bark, clove bud, amber, citron. Yeah, this one is very, very spicy, and I think the amber on the bottom is giving this kind of strange, yeah, kind of like rounds it out in this really interesting way. The citron and the blood orange. Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's that's kind of what, like the mixture of orange and cinnamon. There's something a little bizarre about this. That's what I'm trying to put my finger on, but it's nice. It's good. I like it. But it is just a little bit, that's unusual. It's unusual. That's the word. But yeah, this is much more of what I would call a red hot cinnamon. That kind of like sweeter, but also super fiery. Very, very good actually for what they're trying to do here, but very fiery cinnamon, very, very burny, kind of hot, that kind of thing. Red hot cinnamon, that's what's going on with this candle with first impression. I really like it. And it's definitely not in the direction of fall spices for sure. This is more of that candy red hot cinnamon too. So it's different spice profile than anything that they have had. But yeah, if you're a fan of that red hot, this is actually really, really nice. I do like a red hot cinnamon. So I like this one. So the chant on Inner Fire is, from deep within my strength ignites. I rise and burn with fearless light. No doubt shall bind, no fear control. I am the fire, fierce and whole. With power clear and heart aflame, I take my path, I speak my name. All right. And now we've got Sacred Protection, so this is kind of a protection spell. The top on this is going to be evergreen and aldehydic. The mid is cedarwood, fir needle, sage, and wood, and the base is incense, amber, wood smoke, and balsam. And the crystal is obsidian, so this is going to be a protection candle. There you go. Ooh, this is my favorite so far. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Wow. I really like this. So the thing that I really like about this candle is that although the fir is really strong and you get kind of hit immediately with this like, oh, fir as in Christmas, there is so much more going on with this candle that it's not necessarily a Christmas candle. That's gorgeous. It's so, so, so nice. That's a gorgeous fir scent, or evergreen rather. Yeah, fir needles, they were in here. Evergreen, aldehydic, cedar wood, and fir needle. Sage wood, incense, amber wood, smoke balsam. Yeah, I mean, that combination of evergreen trees it's very naturey. So rather than leaning strictly into a Christmas scent, you get just kind of immersed in nature scent, and the wood smoke combined with that is so nice. Oh, this is beautiful. Honestly, I would really like this for a winter scent. I think it is a little bit too evergreen for me to burn at Halloween in particular. Like, I wouldn't necessarily consider this a Halloween scent because of how strong my association of evergreen, fir, cedar, balsam, all of that is with Christmas. But this isn't a particularly Christmas scent either. I would just consider this kind of a forest winter scent. It is divine. This is so, so nice. And then the added wood smoke element, it really puts you in the mental headspace of having been in a cabin with some, like a wood fire in the cabin, but there's all these natural trees around, these fragrant trees. This is a beautiful scent. If you are a fir, a balsam fan, wow, wow, wow. This is really, really nice. Let's go for the chant on the back. Circle strong, I now ignite. Guard my soul with sacred light. No shadow lingers, no fear may stay. This flame keeps all ill will away. From unseen harm and spoken curse, shield my space for better, not worse. I really like this one. I feel like I'm just gonna light this one and put the good energy into it. I like this a lot. This is a great, great, great candle. Oof, this is my favorite so far. I love it, love it, love it. All right, and the last one that we have is Tranquil Mind. So Tranquil Mind is going to be a top of French lavender and chamomile flower, a mid of driftwood and bergamot, and a base of white musk and ginger. And the crystal on this one is amethyst. So Tranquil Mind, that's going to be for meditating, I think. This is very light, feminine, kind of powdery. That's what I'm getting like first off. It's like kind of a very light floral potpourri, powdery potpourri, that kind of thing. I think the lavender is really doing that, and the chamomile rather. Yeah, this is going to be apothecary but plus powder. That's what I'm getting. Driftwood, bergamot, white musk, and ginger. Yeah, maybe the musk and the driftwood I'm getting too. White musk, driftwood, bergamot, ginger. The overall impression that I'm getting with this one is very uplifted in a light and kind of fluffy, like clouds, puffy powder, that kind of a feeling to it. Bergamot, white musk, ginger. Yeah, it's really, really nice. It's beautiful. French lavender, chamomile flower. Yeah, everything is combining in a way that it's a little bit difficult to make out what's going on here, but I kind of stand by what I said here. It is very, I get the chamomile and I get the lavender, and this one is, yeah, like powdery, light, fluffy, airy, all of that kind of stuff. It's very like up here. And the driftwood, bergamot, white musk, ginger. Yeah, this one is not very heavy at all. It's just giving me this kind of like very feminine, like I said, apothecary, but mixed it in with powder type of thing. It's very, very nice, very light. The chant on Tranquil Mind is quiet the storm, still the tide. In silent calm, let peace abide. Let scattered thoughts now drift away and bring me rest at the end of the day. In breath, in light, I find release. This flame becomes my well of peace. Very nice. I like these chants. They're very, very nice. Now, I wonder if they went lighter this year because, well, I don't know if it's because, but I wonder if it's because last year people had some complaints about hexes on my exes and that kind of thing. There were love spells, there were hexes on my exes. I was into it. I thought it was great. However, I wonder if they went a very much more fluffy and light route this time, due to perhaps some complaints from last year. But yeah, so that is our Spellbound line. That's our Spellbound line, and combined with our ombre lines. So that is Kringle Candle Part 2. That's what we've got coming up for Part 2, guys. And we have these coming up again on August 15th. And again, if you want to save 15% on your order, my discount code is Haunted Haven. So really appreciate you using that. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon again in the Haven for more candle fun or just Halloween time fun. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.